Whether you're a team of 1 or 1,000, Bo Digital can help make your marketing goals a reality.
Let's be honest, most of us who run our own businesses need help in the marketing category. Either you have no clue what an algorithm is or you just don't have time to mess with it, Bo can help you with that. They offer an a la carte menu of marketing services where you can take what you need. It can be your website, your socials, newsletters, or even blogs. Bo can help you take some of it off your plate and free up time for you to focus more on the things that you love. I personally use Bo Digital in my own small business, and I love them and the team that they have and the knowledge that they possess is far beyond anything that I could do on my own. If you're looking to grow your business, you have to put a bow on it. You can reach out to them on their website, bowdigital.com, or on Facebook, BOWE digital.com.
This is Jonathan Keith, and you are listening to Missing Midwest, a true crime podcast about those that have gone missing. Today's story is about a minor who went missing. While that should be the focus, her case was dismissed by many because of the situation. Labeled as a runaway, Kianna Galvin has never been given justice. Her story matters, and someone knows something.
Hello.
Hey.
What's up?
You seem like a mama of a newborn right now.
I am.
As you yawn into the microphone.
Yawn. I was up all night with a fussy baby and all day I posted a picture. I said, everybody says sleep when the baby sleeps, but she was just wide awake. I was like, this is not what you're supposed to be doing right now. She didn't care, so.
I feel like she has been really awesome, but not last night. Last night was her worst night probably for you.
She has thrush, which is like a thing babies get, and so it makes them really fussy.
Yeah.
So it's not her fault. She's so perfect.
Yeah, she's been incredible. Very, very fun to snug with.
But I'm tired.
I can't imagine. Yeah, I felt bad every time you got up. I was like, is there anything I can do? No. All right, I'm going back to sleep. So a couple announcements before we get started today. First of all, our merch store is available. We'll post a link again this week. But if you just go to Linktree, So.Will.I.Studos, you can get all of our merch there. It's on our Facebook page. But yeah, it's on our Instagram bio as well. Some good stuff. It's long sleeve tee weather for sure. I've been like putting those kind of shirts at the front of my closet, enjoying the nice weather, the spring weather. It's cool enough to wear the long sleeve tee. I like it. We've got some cool ones. Go check them out. Also, just want to give a shout out to Cross America. Always love being here. Just absolutely love working with Crystal and Jennifer, and they just always take such good care of us. So I want to give them a shout out. I'm looking forward to coming in here on summer break and getting some Doubting Thomas coffee in the mornings.
Yeah, I'm
working on cases.
Yes,
it's good. Good stuff. I like it here a lot.
Our coffee morning.
I miss that. Days. That's like from going back to teaching. That's like one of the things I miss the most. Before I was teaching, every Wednesday morning, the wife and I were in here working on cases, working on podcast episodes, and drinking some coffee, eating some breakfast. Big fan. Also, just want to say that we're catching up on some things on the business side of it. The new stickers, the subscription letters. Forgive us. We have had a newborn come a little early, and it's kind of thrown us off our track. We had planned on getting some of those things done during spring break. That didn't work out. But that's okay. We're going to get it done. We promise. Hang in there. Thank you for your grace on those things, especially with the bonus episode. We'll get it out there as soon as possible with as far as the exclusive stuff goes. All right, last week we mentioned that April was Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we had cases to honor that. This week, the story doesn't necessarily have anything to do with child abuse, but more about the awareness of just a child's life, all the way to adulthood. Unfortunately, the older that kids get, the more independence and rebellions and the attitudes, right? Like teenage attitudes that we've seen so many times that we've had.
8 years old right now.
That we've had, yeah.
Herman's 8 and he's an attitude.
It starts young. But, from the foster care system to the education system, from discipline systems, different things, just like the older kids get, the less, grace they get, I guess. And sometimes that makes sense, but we also got to remember they are minors. We all did things when we were teenagers that we wish people didn't stamp our lives with, right? And, this story, is kind of about a girl in her teens, kind of figuring life out, kind of went a different route. But just don't let kids fall through the cracks in your life and around. Keep tabs on them. Don't give up on them. It's just kind of sad when I read over this case to see how quick people were to be like, yeah, she probably ran away. If you're listening to this, you're a crime junkie, you care about true crime, we can look deeper into these kinds of situations, look for more red flags, and not be so quick to label things as a teen runaway.
Johnny, question for you.
Yeah.
If I was somewhere in Kokomo and it wasn't our house and it wasn't the flower shop, where would I be?
Easy. Humble home.
Yes, you're right. You guys, listen up. Humble Home is my absolute favorite place to be for so many reasons. No matter what I am looking for, I always check Humble Home first. Clothes, shoes, toys, decor, furniture, makeup, they literally always have something that I need. They have brand name items for cheap. Their inventory is constantly changing, so it's part of my weekly routine to do a Humble Home walkthrough. You absolutely need to stop by. I promise you won't be disappointed. While it is a discount store, it's not your average discount store. It's clean, organized, and everything has its place. I get zero anxiety when I go in, unlike other discount stores. And no matter what you're shopping for, a home project, gifts, home decor, even seasonal decor, they will have it. They are open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday from noon to 5. You can follow them on Facebook at Humble Home Kokomo and watch for new items every single day. And for our Lafayette, Indiana listeners, I have exciting news. They're opening a second location in Lafayette soon. As soon as I have the details, I will let you know their opening date. Get excited.
We're going to the state of Illinois, where in 2022, 12,446 missing person cases were reported for people under 18.
Jeez.
12,446 missing persons cases, most of which were teens or preteens, many of which were labeled runaways. Today's story is about 17-year-old in South Elgin, I think is how you say it. It's kind of a suburb of Chicago. It's a little bit further out, northwest of Chicago. It has 24,000 people in it. That's the population. They have $1 General, but Chicago's like right there, so I'm sure there's a lot more over that way. Kianna Galvin is her name, and she had been attending South Elgin High. Things were not working out super well for her there. She ended up getting, I think that was her senior year, she ended up getting on juvenile probation in the spring semester of 2016. And she actually ended up going to a different high school to finish things out, Auburn High School. She went there to finish out her GED. And you know, she's excited. She's 17. She's turning 18 that summer. So she was like ready to turn 18. Her mom had mentioned later that, you know, she was really excited about turning 18. That was something that she was like, okay, I'm almost there for. In that spring, she had been, like I said, on probation, gone to a new school. She also broke up with her boyfriend. And then on May 5th, she was fired from her job. Although she was excited about turning 18, things are not exactly going well for Kianna. And I recognize that. And I know that sometimes, like when we hear this dark path and these bad things all happening at once, it's like, sounds like a good reason to run away.
Yeah.
You know, and as
Doesn't
far
help
as
with the assumptions of running away.
Exactly. Well, and you know, like law enforcement, when they file the missing person case, they're going to go and they're going to say, okay, you know, has she recently ended a relationship? Yes. Okay. How things are going at school? Not good. Okay. You know, it's, and so it was really easy for everyone kind of to think, you know, honestly, including family, that a runaway scenario was likely.
Did you know the Jefferson House of Flowers has been a local Kokomo florist for almost 100 years? Our trained designers make beautiful arrangements for literally any occasion. You can send flowers for any reason. Birthdays, anniversaries, get well, congratulations. The list goes on. We make flowers for funerals, weddings, proposals, and even proms. Let's be honest. Receiving flowers, whether you're at home or at your work, it makes you feel special. You get butterflies and you feel loved, and that's what sending flowers is all about, the feeling it creates. Call us at 765-452-8269 and let us create something special and send it out for you. Or you can stop in and see us at 4300 West, 100 North Kokomo. We always have a cooler full of flowers that are ready to go, as well as a boutique full of gifts. Shop local, support local, and send flowers.
On May 6th, the day after she was fired, Kianna told her sister that she was going for a walk in the Jim Hansen Park and would be back in, quote, a few hours.
A long walk?
Don't really go on walks for a few hours. A little sketchy to me. I don't love that. You know, I don't remember doing that as a teenager. Maybe some bike rides, like when I was a kid. But I would usually be like, hey, I'm going on a bike ride with my friends, named friends, and we'll be back sometime. But I mean, she's telling her sister this. So it's not like, you know, sister probably doesn't have the motherly instinct to be like, give me details like we would.
Yeah, I know.
But like if Truman was like, I'm going to go on a walk for 3 hours, I'd have
Who,
some questions.
where,
Yeah,
when,
exactly. I'm not trying to judge here. I mean, this girl's 17. She's obviously got a little bit of a rebellious and independent streak to her. So I'm sure her sister was like not about to fight with that. Okay, see you in a few hours. For all they knew, she was going to the park. She left her purse, her wallet, her phone charger. She just, said, I'm going for a walk and headed out. I looked up the park. The park looks really nice now. I think they had like a reopening in 2017, so I don't know if it was as nice in 2016, but it looks really nice now. 3 hours later, a little more, her mom comes home from work, finds out that she was not there. She said, where's she at? She said she'd be back by now, but it was kind of like, she's probably going out with her friends. This was common for her, especially Friday night, to just go hang out with some friends. She called her, went straight to voicemail. At first, she wasn't too concerned about it. Figured phone probably died. She's with her friends. Doesn't care about calling in right now. I'm sure I'll hear from her. So, that's May 6th, which is a Friday. As the night goes on, they're getting a little bit concerned, but again, she's probably fine. By the time Saturday morning runs around and they haven't heard from her, they're like, what the heck? Like, this is not like her. So they start calling her friends. She has a lot of friends, a lot of people that she'd been with even that week. So they're calling all these people, talking to friends. Nobody knew where she was. Also, her friends are starting to get a little nervous now because Kianna, it was 2016. Kianna was very active on Facebook. And so they're like, she has not made any Facebook posts since yesterday at noon, which she went for her walk around 12:30 p.m. that day. So she hasn't made any posts. She hasn't commented. She hasn't done anything on Facebook since noon. That's kind of a red flag. So they spend pretty much all Saturday, checking friends, calling people. Okay, I'll call you back. Let me call so-and-so, that whole thing. Sunday, which was actually Mother's Day, first thing she did on Mother's Day was call the police and report her daughter missing, which I can't imagine.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, horrible Mother's Day. And even when she did that, she was like, I'm very concerned. I'm reporting her now. But if she's okay, she will talk to me on Mother's Day. She has never not reached out on Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. Like if she doesn't, she would never not contact me on Mother's Day if she was okay. So they're all kind of like, okay, let's see. Like, police kind of like, okay, we'll ask questions, but let's see how Mother's Day goes.
One of the best decisions I've ever made for myself is something I never thought I would do. You want to know my secret? Hiring a cleaning company. Like, who does that? I never thought I would say that I'm going to have my house cleaned for me. But in this season of life, with young kids and sports and work and side hustles, I had to decide how I wanted to spend my free time, and cleaning was not on that list. Stanley Cleaning Company has given me my free time back. They come once a month, and they sweep and mop my entire house and clean my bathrooms for me, and let me tell you, it is my favorite day of the month. Coming home to a sparkling clean house and knowing that I just saved 3+ hours of my time to spend with my kids is such a mental health game changer for me. It doesn't matter who from their team comes, they leave my house shining. And the best part is it's affordable. Christine offers an a la carte menu. You can do a general or a deep cleaning, just a sweep and a mop. You can do once a month or every week, a spring cleaning or a pre-party clean. She even has a postpartum mom clean that happens while you're in the hospital having your baby, and I can attest to that. It is amazing. Give them a call today for a free quote, and I promise it will be the best self-care you can imagine. You can find them on Facebook at Stanley Cleaning Company, or you can give her a call or a text at 765-860-3606.
It turns out that she never went to the park.
Oh.
Yeah. So they look at phone records, and it turns out that she went to meet a man who lived, and this is how, on all the reports, this is how he's described.
Oh boy.
A man who lived in the basement of someone's house on Revere Road.
Yikes.
Phone records show that she had planned. No. What'd you say?
Oh,
his mom's basement? Oh, I don't know.
She did his laundry.
It probably. He's just literally referred to as the Revere Road man.
The man in the basement?
And the man in the basement,
Yikes.
Yeah. So looking at her text messages on her phone records, she had planned to meet up with him to get some marijuana. Obviously a bad choice. She's 17. I'm all about holding kids accountable for their actions, but she's still a minor. I don't want to dismiss her safety in this situation. Like we were worried she was a runaway. She's going to get marijuana. Like, it's not helping her case of being a runaway at this point. She lied to her family, went to get drugs, fitting a lot of the runaway criteria.
Fitting a lot of the 17-year-old criteria, honestly.
Sure.
I mean, her fault, but not her fault.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So this unnamed basement drug dealer Obviously, they see her talking to him. They're like, let's go find this guy. So they go talk to him, and he's like, yeah.
How did they find her talking to him?
Because she was texting him. Like
okay.
on her phone records. So they go and they talk to him, and they're like, hey, did you see Kianna? She said she was her last text to you, or her last text that came from her phone was at 12:35 coming to you. And he was like, or when they talked to him, he was like, yeah, she came here, but she never came in the house. She kept talking to another guy on her phone. Oh boy. And so I just, talked to her for a minute, and then she left. She never came to my house. She was talking to somebody else on her phone. They tell police this, who know that her last activity on her phone was at 12:35 when she texted drug dealer guy that she was there. Mm-hmm. So she has no phone activity. So he's saying she was on her phone. She wasn't on that phone. Phone records also show that the phone was shut off at 1:15 completely, and they say this was either due to the battery being taken out or the phone being destroyed. And if you think about it, it definitely wouldn't have just died. You're not gonna. No teenager in America is like, I'm about to go on a 3-hour walk with the phone at 15%. There's like that's not gonna happen. So you got to think, her phone was fully charged, or she would have taken her phone charger. So yeah, that's something happened to her phone. Somebody destroyed that phone. Mm-hmm. So, police take that and they're like, well, that's one contradiction to what he's saying. She was obviously not on her phone while she was talking to him or after. So they start asking around, asking some of the neighbors. Talk to the neighbor that lives right next to the house. He said, yeah, I saw that girl come by and she went into this man's house. Like the guy that lives in the basement. She was like, I saw her go into the house with the guy. Again, basement guy was like, she never came in the house. She was here for 10 minutes. We talked outside, then she left. So they're like, here's contradiction number 2. Basement drug dealer doesn't seem so reliable at this point. That same neighbor calls police back 6 days later on May 12th saying, hey, there's blood all over the lid of my trash can lid. And police go and they tested the blood. It was Kianna's.
Okay.
So doesn't sound like a 10-minute conversation in the front yard is all that happened there.
One of the best decisions I've ever made for myself is something I never thought I would do. You want to know my secret? Hiring a cleaning company. Like, who does that? I never thought I would say that I'm going to have my house clean for me. But in this season of life, with young kids and sports and work and side hustles, I had to decide how I wanted to spend my free time, and cleaning was not on that list. Stanley Cleaning Company has given me my free time back. They come once a month, and they sweep and mop my entire house and clean my bathrooms for me, and let me tell you, it is my favorite day of the month. Coming home to a sparkling clean house and knowing that I just saved 3+ hours of my time to spend with my kids is such a mental health game changer for me. It doesn't matter who from their team comes, they leave my house shining. And the best part is it's affordable. Christine offers an a la carte menu. You can do a general or a deep cleaning, just a sweep and a mop. You can do once a month or every week, a spring cleaning or a pre-party clean. She even has a postpartum mom clean that happens while you're in the hospital having your baby, and I can attest to that. It is amazing. Give them a call today for a free quote, and I promise it will be the best self-care you can imagine. You can find them on Facebook at Stanley Cleaning Company, or you can give her a call or a text at 765-860-3606.
So, as they're trying to, get all this, and it's not exactly timely the way like the tests work out and those kind of things, they go back on May 12th, they send it for testing, all these different things. Sometime that year, I couldn't find the exact date. But this guy, basement drug dealer dude.
We don't know his name?
No.
Okay. I don't want to call him his name. I want to call him basement drug dealer dude, but yeah. I just was wondering.
He's never listed as an actual suspect. It's just person of interest and everything. And they note that in all the different articles that I read, how that's kind of strange. Like, obviously, this guy should be a suspect at this point. But later that year, like shortly after this whole thing with Kianna, as they're trying to figure that out, he goes to jail for assaulting a woman. So severely, he ended up getting 15 years in prison for this offense. So, again, I could not find more details about that. I don't know if I don't have a name to search, But
so he's assaulted women.
So yeah, apparently, you'd have to do something pretty bad to get 15 years in prison. I feel like, right?
Yeah.
It's not just like he backhanded her at Walmart and he gets 15 years.
Yeah, there's people that do a lot of stuff and don't get 15 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A lot of bad stuff.
So he must have done something horrible to get 15 years. In November of 2016, he's in prison. Police searched his house in regards to Kianna's case, which makes a lot of sense considering the blood on the trash can. I feel like that should have been like the next day step, But whether or not they found anything in his house related to Kianna has never been released. They've never said it didn't turn anything up. They've never said we found this. Nothing. Her phone never showed any activity after it was destroyed that day after her meeting. She has never made any contact with any friends or family members again, like none. And she had a whole bunch of people that she was friends with, that she was close with, her family, her mom, her sister. They kind of made it seem like in the article I read that like if she wanted to run away, like she had people and like
that she could go to.
And those people were helping look for her, you know, like it wasn't.
She's not with us.
Yeah. On May 16th, and again, this is after the blood was found on the trash can. That happened on May 12th.
Did it say how much blood? Was it a lot?
I mean, so the fact that she said it was on the lid and not like the whole trash can tells me it wasn't that much. But regardless, why is her blood there at all? You know, this guy said she was there for 10 minutes and then she left.
Yeah, I mean, there shouldn't be any blood. I
Shouldn't
just
be
didn't know if it
any
was like
enough
she
to be
could have
like
gotten
this.
hurt a little bit. And
Yeah, it didn't say.
But,
I would imagine if it was like a lethal amount of blood, that would have raised a whole lot more red flags, than it apparently did. But yeah, on May 16th, 4 days after the blood was found on the trash can, police, when they're talking to the public, they would not say whether they thought foul play was a factor or not. They were still hanging on to the idea of potentially this being a runaway. And I guess at this point, I'm completely ruling runaway scenario out. You have a basement drug dealer guy lying about his interaction, his interaction with her. Yeah, sorry.
What did you say?
Jeez, thanks for calling me out.
That was funny.
He's lying about her. He's lying about their
interaction with her.
Yeah. There's blood on the trash can.
That's enough.
That's enough for me. Like I'm completely dismissing the idea of a runaway until we have proven without a shadow of doubt.
And you live in a basement.
Yeah,
that's enough.
Yeah. Like I said, it talks about him as the Revere Road guy in a lot of these articles. But yeah, the fact that it was like still like considered by many to be a runaway. Oh yeah, that girl, she was into trouble, she ran away. Like I just don't buy it, and it makes me sad that it was dismissed so easily. Like, what do you think? Like, is runaway even plausible with all this evidence?
I mean, it's always possible, but it's not looking likely.
Like, hey, I want you to lie about our interaction and then put some of my blood in the neighbor's trash can so they really think I ran away. Like, I don't think that's how the conversation goes. It's very sad to me that it's frustrating. So her last social media post, less than an hour before she went missing, it was noon on May 6th, was a picture with a caption that said she got her courage from her father and her strength from her mother. This is something that her mom mentioned in the media, like when they're interviewing her, and talked about how hard it was to be strong, but she knew her daughter thought that she was this big, strong person, so she wanted to be strong for her daughter, but it was, devastating for her. Like, it's so sad to me. Like, that's the last thing your daughter said, and that's very sweet,
That's terrible.
But also, like, so hard.
Are you looking to buy or sell in 2024? Let Amber White help you find your home sweet home. Amber is a local realtor to the Kokomo and Howard County area, and when I say she knows her stuff, she knows her stuff. When we decided to move closer to family, I literally messaged Amber and told her I wanted to sell my house, and then later I want to buy this house, and she made it all happen. Buying and selling is such an overwhelming process, but Amber seriously took care of every single step and eliminated all the stress for us. Her knowledge was invaluable, and while I say I never want to move again, I know exactly who to call if we decide to. Follow her on Facebook at Amber White, Realtor /broker with Carrie Gruhl and Associates, or you can give her a call at 765-865-1118.
And yeah, I mean, no one's ever heard of her since. Like, she is completely vanished. In such a they made it seem like a simple runaway, but it's much more complex than that. And there's just like never been any closure to that at all. No teenager is perfect. Some choose more difficult paths than others, but I guess I just want us to like get in the habit of giving kids the benefit of a doubt instead of just automatically assuming runaways. Because how many cases have we seen like, oh, this kid ran away, like, and they never came back? If they actually run away, like, typically it's very common for them to come back eventually. That goes for all runaways. But here we are in so many of these cases, we label these teenagers as runaways, and 30 years down the road, we still haven't heard anything from them. Like, it's like we should have done more at the beginning. That's how I feel. So whether we're talking about child abuse or these runaway scenarios or something worse, like let's just be the last ones to write it off as crime junkies. Let's really, give them the benefit of the doubt.
Even if it wasn't a runaway, they deserve to have answers.
100%.
So, I mean,
100%.
I think if it was a runaway, you would have some sort. Like you said, she had tons of people that she could have went to, and I feel like they would have heard something.
It's like, I just 17, like you're still a kid. When I was 17, I'd been like, absolutely not. I'm a grown person. But like,
no, you're a kid.
Yeah, you're a kid, and they should be treated.
Which
like
is
that.
why you went to somebody's basement to buy drugs without telling anybody, and you were texting a man, and that's why, because you're 17 and you're not mature enough yet. So
again, this is up in the Northwest Chicago area. Anyone with information regarding her whereabouts is urged to call the South Elgin Police Department at 847-741-2151. Someone knows something. This podcast is a So.Will.I.Studos production. So will I.